we are live now. Let me share the link. Yeah, we can. I think it just skips. You hear sometimes and then it skips sometimes.
Down in that
Okay, Kelvin, we still cannot hear you. The network is really bad. We still cannot hear you. So I'm going to try Faye. Maybe let's see if your network will get better. Yes, give us a minute. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. So let me start again. Sorry for the network interruption. So I was explaining what software development is. I said software development is the process of creating applications, websites, and digital tools. Now, this may sound complicated, but just let me paint a picture. You open your phone and you try to access your bank, for example, you try to transfer some cash for some things you just got. The app you are using is a software, is an application. But let's say you open your phone, you go to WhatsApp, you want to reply a message from a family member. WhatsApp is also a software, it's an application, right? I'm still audible, right? Great. So these are all examples of applications. We have websites like Google that we all use daily that saved our life a bunch, right? We have ChatGPT. These are all examples of websites, web apps, and applications. Now, as software developers, we make those tools happen. We create them. We develop them, right? That's the word. Develop them. So throughout the course of this program, we're going to be learning how to create.
Okay, try speaking. Let's see if we can hear you. People. Yes, I can. Audio is breaking. But just go on. Let's see.
The few principles of graphic design and how they can affect your design and make them.
Okay,
Can you hear me?
everybody's saying they can't hear you, although I can hear you from here.
Don't worry. I had to disconnect my other phone from my network set. All right. So during this during these few weeks, we'll be learning about some of the principles of graphic design, how balance can affect your design, contrast, alignment, repetition, hierarchy, and white space. So let me give you a brief example of hierarchy. So some designs that when designing, can you hear me? All right. So when working on the design, so what I'm trying to do now, I'm trying to give how a brief example on how hierarchy can be used in the design. So you'll be given the brief on what should be in the design. That is the content you are supposed to use in the design. So hierarchy, a good hierarchy system is the header. For example, you're designing, you're working on an event flyer. So the event flyer is, for example, now Easter, let me just use Easter faith convention. So if you're on when you're working on that flyer, Easter faith convention should actually have the highest, the largest font size so that when your viewer sees this post, they know that the event, the theme of the event is actually Easter faith convention. So the other content like the venue and the rest can be smaller font sizes so that yeah, they will know that these are the details concerning the program. So I'll be talking on the tools a graphic designer uses. So they are in two categories actually. We have the ones on smartphone design and we have the ones on laptop. So for laptop they are shared into two styles. There are two styles of software that can be used for graphic design. We have the vector-based software and we have the layer-based um, software. So one of the vector-based software is CorelDRAW, Adobe Illustrator. So this software, they don't work on layers. They just work on vectors that are just basically editable. While for the layer-based um, design software, the first on that list is Photoshop. And for the job market, Photoshop is the standard, is the current standard. So when they are looking for to hiring a graphic designer, they actually ask, um, are you good in Photoshop? Yeah. So if you're actually good in Photoshop, that is actually one of the major criteria in getting hired as a graphic designer in this industry. So for this class, we'll be using smartphone designs. That is smartphone design because I just discovered that almost everybody has a smartphone. You are currently watching this live on your smartphone, specifically Android devices. So for smartphone, we have two apps. that I use majorly to create design. Number one is Canva. You can use Canva to create design, while the second one is Pixel Lab. You understand? But we'll be working on Pixel Lab. Why? Because Pixel Lab is layer based. So when you master Pixel Lab, transitioning into Photoshop won't be an issue because what you just have to do is learn how to do some certain tasks you normally do on Pixel Lab in Photoshop. Then you'll be good to go. You understand? So um, we'll be talking about the career paths in graphic design. So the major roles in graphic design are brand designer, brand identity designer. These people they work on the logos, the brand guideline, and generally everything concerning the brand startup. Why we have the UX user, UI, the user interface designer in this category also and the visual designer. So I'll urge you in this class that you should actually build your portfolio. So together we'll be working on projects which you can actually use in your portfolio so that this will give you an edge when looking for gigs and the rest. So looking for clients as a designer, there are various platforms to use. You can actually use Fiverr, you can use Upwork. But personally for me, Fiverr and Upwork for over 3 years plus I've been in the graphic design industry don't usually work well with me. I've not gotten any design gig from this platform. So I usually get my my gigs from let's say X that is formerly known as Twitter and some of my social media platforms. So I will encourage you when you start this class, tell your friends and everybody that you are a designer so that when they actually have roles and opportunity for you to for your skills to be used, you'll be the first person to come in mind. Meanwhile, be working on yourself and doing all the assignments and everything that I'm sharing with you in this whole classes. You understand? So the this whole classes. So as a designer, also like I said earlier, I'm just trying to elaborate on this building your portfolio aspect. So let me just share this story. So a while back, I think 2022 when I started graphic design. How did I actually learn the skill? I enrolled for a web. Can you hear me? Please, if you can hear me, just type on the comments. Yeah, you can hear me so that I'll know if
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
actually. Right. So a few years back, I actually enrolled for a web development program, and part of the course outline was graphic design. So we have to learn graphic design first before you actually proceed to learning HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and the rest. So when I started graphic design, I started graphic design then with Fireworks. That is Macromedia Fireworks. You understand? So I discovered that this is actually a part that I'm actually fluent with. That yeah, creating designs they are not stress for me to come up with concepts and those other stuff. So the how I landed my first gig was I was just at home one day and my colleague were learning this the web development in the same place. He just reached out to me and said, Favor, I have this role for you. Then I don't know I have little to no experience in graphic design. The guy actually reached out to me, connected me with the person, and that was how I got my first my first paid gig in graphic design. Then for I think the salary was 20K per month then. Yeah, so that was how I got my first design gig and I worked with that brand for over a year plus and yeah, I gave them a lot of design. So sometimes I just go back to those design and yeah, I see those design. They are not I used that grant, that gig to actually task that they are giving me. For example, now they give me a task to create this for their Facebook platform. Yeah, I'll just create it. Then I'll just add it to my portfolio. So in my portfolio section, you just see that brand there, um, the brand name there, and you see all the designs I just did. You understand? So with that being said, I just hope you have the drive to develop yourself because as a designer, developing yourself is actually one of the most um, important, important steps in being better at your craft because the market is very, very saturated, you understand? So another way, so what you should be doing is, for example, now you started the class and you are doing the practicals. You can just be posting your progress on X so that you can, that's Twitter, so that you can build your community there. And by God's grace, a brand can just reach out to you and say, yeah, they would like to collaborate with you on a certain project. So I'm looking forward in working with you and seeing the wonders we can create together. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Favor. That was your questions, and I think I'll just ask you design questions in the comment section, and he would answer them. So, what are the career potential or prospects? So, when you learn graphic design, what do you do? Yeah, we know graphic design, but are there other career paths for a graphic designer? That's one. And like, how much can one earn? What are just some of the perks or advantages of learning to, of course, design graphics?
All right. So one of the one of the one of the advantages to learning graphic design is you see how you can express your creative side through the designs you create. You understand? Not just that, and effectively passing the the information to the audience. So I'll repeat this again. The graphic design is not just about creating beautiful designs. One of the most um, important important thing in designing is making sure the objective of that design is actually felt by the user or by your audience. You understand? So for the earning potentials as an intern, like for a Nigerian based business, they can pay you the pay is ranging from like um 50,000 to 150K, depending on your specialty. For example, now they need a, a designer that has done because some brands they are very funny. They need interns, but they want you to have experience. You understand? So they'll just come up with their role that they need a designer with 3 years in crypto related um designs and stuff like that. So yeah, that is part of the earning protections. Why for the international markets, using Fiverr, you can actually set your portfolio to probably $15 per hour or something else. Like the last interview I had with 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 this with this Dubai-based brand, the pay they actually suggested was about do the practicals you'll be seeing in this course. Just saw this question just now. Please, in the course of the training, are we going to learn how to use Photoshop to make design? No, 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 not really, but towards the end, I'll just give you a brief introduction on how Photoshop works the rest. So we'll be working with Pixel Lab. Pixel Lab, you can download Pixel Lab on your Android device, but it's not available on iPhones and the rest. So for this class, we'll be using our Android phones to do the design. And you see the beautiful designs your Android phone can come up with. You understand? Because for a long time now, I've been using um, my Android phone and my laptop. Why? Because sometimes the client can just reach out to me that they need this design in the next 2 hours, and I'm not at home. My laptop is currently at home. I'll just take out my Android phone, then I'll quickly work on that design. I'll submit it to them. Yeah, they'll be happy and they'll be excited with the graphics I created. You understand? So, any other questions?
All right, I don't think there are more questions. So thank you so much, Favor. Yeah, we look forward to, of course, those that will be taking graphic design. We, on their behalf, are looking forward to the training. So would be that'll be all for graphic design for tonight. So thank you once again. We'll be
Yeah.
having data analysis next. So yeah, data analysis instructor can join next. All right, hi, Mr. Faye. Welcome to
Hi,
today's
Princess.
orientation session.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's
Can you
good
hear
to
me?
have you. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I need us to. Okay, can we all hear me? I need us to actually say that that you can actually hear me on our chat so that I can continue. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Thank you so much, Princess. Thank you for this privilege. Thank you so much. To everybody listening, welcome to Data Analysis Orientation. And I'll be your data analytics instructor for the next 16 weeks. Where we are going to be transiting into getting to know what data analysis is. And by the end of the 16 weeks, um, so I'm 100% sure that you'll be confident about the skills and what you need to actually try. The importance of data, kind of data analysis, how we can grow our career and also be successful in the world of data. Okay, now let's start from the foundation. What is data analysis? Looking at the two words, data and analysis. Now, data is a raw fact. We all know that, and analysis is the process of examining for details or making conclusion about an insight. Now, combining the two parts, data analysis, it means the process of gathering or collecting, cleaning, organizing, interpreting, and presenting data to extract useful insight. I want you to note that the act of presenting data to extract useful insight. Now, quickly, I want us to understand. I know a question like this might actually come, and then I want us to understand the difference between data analysis, between data science, and also data analysis. Now, quickly, data analysis is the process of collecting the data and making extract meaningful information from the data. Why data science is basically using models, machine learning to get algorithms like that and models for data. Then data analytics is the field of study, application of your analysis into solving problems. So that's that and that. Now let's quickly go into why this field is important in the global world. Now, it has been estimated that we have over 2.5 quadrillion bytes of data being derived every single day. That is close to like 18 zeros behind numbers. Now imagine that this data are actually generated every single day. It means there is a need for someone, me, and you coming into this to actually get to bring insight for this data because data cannot actually bring out insight for itself. There's someone that is needed to actually present those data into meaningful information. The truth be told, when you see data set, I know when you study, you actually see what I'm saying. When you see data set, it will look like a jargon to you. It will look like something that is not clean. But with this course you're learning for the next 16 weeks, your mind and your ability to try to change those dirty data into meaningful information that even organization we have to get understanding of customer behavior, improve operational efficiency, increase profit, reduce risk from anything we are bringing out of that data. That is what we are going to be doing. Meaning that in this world where there is data, imagine you going to ShopRite and you meet a lot of people getting to order their that, and then you use your card to actually make your own payments, the number of stores, then make meaningful information. That is where you and I are coming. Okay, without wasting much time because of the network. Now, I want to quickly rush on to what we are going to be learning in this course. What we are going to be learning in this course. I'm happy to tell you that we are going to be building your confidence. I'm going to be building your confidence on how to use several skills needed for real world data to communicate findings effectively. Now, I'm going to repeat that we are going to be building your confidence to use the skills needed to actually analyze real world data to communicate findings and to solve data problems. For example, okay, now the basic skills we are going to be using technical skills and soft skills. So the first one, let us talk about the first one so that we can actually understand technical skills like number one, Excel, number two, SQL, number three, Power BI, and the last one is Python. Don't be scared when you hear Python. It is not. It's people are always scared when they hear Python. Like I say, snake and stuff. We're going to be using something like Anaconda to actually do all these ones. Like when you hear Python, people think Excel. We are going to be using Excel for data cleaning. We'll be using just Excel to actually make visualization, to make charts, to actually interpret the dirty data and then bring meaningful informations like dirty data to bring information. Also, we are going to be learning a technical skill. I can see somebody say, "I'm scared when I hear anything here Python." Don't be scared. Now, I remember when I started learning this also. When they say Python, I was scared that why is Python? But the truth be told, Python is just like you writing English language. You tell it what to do and it gives you your result. And the beautiful thing about it is simple to learn. Just be open-minded. Don't be scared. I think Rita is saying it, she's scared. Don't be scared. We are in this together. So far I can do it, you can do it also. Now let me talk about SQL, the technical skill SQL. SQL is called structured query language. Now, structured query language is like, okay, I like somebody saying hello world. I like that energy. I like that. Now, structured query language is a process whereby we are going to be using queries, just like writing English language, to retrieve and manipulate data, especially data that are inside database. Now, let us quickly do this. As I've said the other time, I said that sometimes when we go to shop, right, when we go to some of our eateries and then we make payment, have you ever imagined how they get their like stock or their feedback? Have you ever imagined that how will they actually get the profit, the loss, the revenue, and all that, the number of quantity? Now, this is very simple. Probably because I can see, but in this class, I will make you see also. Now, this is very simple. What they did was like, okay, fine, they stored their own data in a database. There's something called database. So, using SQL, we are going to be working with some queries where you can fetch the data. Okay, okay. Thank God I'm back now. If you can hear me now, you can say I can hear you. Just say we can hear you. I think I'm now. As I was saying, I'm saying that the SQL, structured query language. What we are going to be doing is we are going to be using the queries to fetch data. Then we are going to be analyzing them. Let me give you an instance. Now, when you go to the well, you know that when you are fetching, fine, okay, that's when you are fetching water, you use your drawer to only fetch water and then put them inside you actually want to fetch, and then you go and use the water. That is what we are going to be doing using this SQL. What we are going to be doing is we are going to be fetching. We are going to understand how to fetch those data, no matter how large or how big it is. We are going to be fetching them. Then we use it to solve meaningful information. Now I will go to the next one. The other thing is Power BI. Power BI basically is used to create compelling dashboard to showcase your insights, your findings. That is the function. Also, BI because the two actually do this. So in Power BI, we are going to be teaching. We are going to be teaching. I will be teaching us how to create compelling dashboard. Note that word, compelling dashboard, to showcase findings. Most don't worry, when we get into the business, so beautiful that even actually understand and and they can actually relate to what you are saying, even with the jargons behind the data. And the last one, we are going to be learning Python. And we need to actually learn Python because the world is revolving. So we actually it's going to be a plus for us because we're going to be learning analysis and analytics part of analysis. So it's going to be a plus for us. No, it's not going to actually take too much of our time, but basically it's going to be a plus for us here at that we're going to be using pandas, we're going to be using matplotlib and seaborn to um solve problems in the world of data. Okay, now let me go into other skills we are going to be learning. We're going to be learning some soft skills. Now, I told us that technical skills, Excel, SQL, Power BI, and Python and all like that. We're going to be learning soft skills. Soft skills like analytical thinking. I'm going to be, when we start doing those things, when we start doing the analysis, we are going to be doing some tasks. Those tasks are going to be transiting you from human being to human person. The ability to solve things by answering question right, because there are aims and objectives for every CEOs, for every organization. So the ability to actually frame the right questions and solve the solution, we are going to be transferring to that. Then communication also, we are going to be presenting insights using dashboard, so that you can actually use that to communicate your findings, your details to people. Also, in the soft skills, we are going to be learning storytelling, the ability to tell people how things are done using charts. The last time, I think it was towards the end of last year, I was doing analysis of the sustainable jobs in 2025. I was trying to predict the jobs that can actually help you to live over inflation in Nigeria. And when I was done, I found out that there are some jobs that are actually rated very well in Nigeria. Like, I'm not abusing any, I'm not abusing any job like nursing, medicine, and all. But the truth be told, although they are rated well, but when it comes to tech people actually earn more than them now. And then the job rating is just like, okay, the job rating for people on headline is high, but now the job growth for tech has increased. So we are going to be getting to know how to use data to do that. Also, we are going to be going into problem solving situations whereby we are going to be using our problem solving skills to solve problems in data. Imagine you having like close to like 20,000 data in rows and columns. So you are going to be using that one to be, we are going to be learning these skills basically, and also adaptation, because we are going to be learning new skills and all. So this all these skills basically are going to be added to us as we go into the world of data analysis. Okay, now let me go on because of time. Now the question, I know this question will actually be um, I, I know that this question will actually be in our hearts. Now the question is, where can I work as a data analyst? Where can I work as a data analyst? Now, the truth be told, the truth be told, okay, a data analyst can actually work everywhere. This is not, I'm not flattering you, I'm telling you the truth. I am not flattering you. Let us, probably are going to do this for me. I know that some of us actually are coming from a sector. Probably you are into a business, or probably you have a career, you study something in school, and then you find out that, okay, fine, I need to change the course of my life. Then you find out that, okay, I need to go into that analysis so that I can actually change the course of my life. Don't forget, when you learn a skill, it stays with you till forever. Till forever. Now, let us now do this one. Now, I said that a data analyst can actually work anywhere. I have sectors I can actually list for you, but we are going to do it like this. As many of you that are listening to me, can you just type a sector that you think you want to go into? Because when it comes to data, when it comes to data analysis, anywhere there is data, we function. Anywhere there is data, we function. And you know that we are in a digital world now, where everything is internet, internet, internet. Do you know that? Have you ever thought of it? Now, as I'm explaining this, I want you to type any sector on the chart. Type any sector on the chart that you feel, okay, fine. Probably analysis, is it sure that is going to work here? Or probably your own personal sector you think you want to apply this course of study into. Type it on the chat, and I'm going to be picking one of them, and I'm going to be explaining how it works. Okay, fine. Okay, I have somebody saying oil and gas. Now, Austin, thank you, oil and gas. Now, listen up, Austin. Now, when it comes to oil and gas, for every intake of the oil and the gas they are making, there is always um and selling. Now, when it comes to oil and gas, you have to get a detailed of how much the your crude oil basically is. Meaning that for you to get the detail of how well the crude oil is, your selling point, okay, how much are you going to sell? When Dangote wanted to do, you cannot say, okay, selling price. Okay, what's the current selling price of oil, of petrol? It is 100 and 975 naira. This one is going like now. Now, this is where analysis now come. Knowing that the price changes on Monday and Tuesday. What's the price last week Monday? It was 975. What's the price in the last 2 months? Okay, 300. Okay, what's the past in the last 3 months? Meaning that if you look at it, we can basically analyze that, okay, fine, because of analysis, we can make assumption based on analysis that in the next 2 years or 3 years, our petroleum in Nigeria will increase from 970 to 1,200. Why? Because of the formal data we have previously on the price of fuel and then the cost of fuel also. Now let me go into that one. Okay, the health sector. How many of you, I don't know, some of you have heard of clinical analysis before. Now, clinical analysis is when predict you predict the um how long how long and how far your patient can actually live with a disease. That's what clinical analysis is. So the ability to predict the disease and then the ability to predict if the drug will work per time. So now looking at healthcare also, we have like patients coming into hospital. Have you ever noticed that in patient, when they come to hospital, they will tell you that let us open a card for you. They will write your name, they will check your BP, they will check your sugar level, they will check everything concerning, check your weight and your height, and they will document it. After documenting, they will put it into a database. Before they can diagnose you or give a drug, they have to calculate, okay, what is your weight level? How do you do it? That is analysis. But all this data, imagine you're having a patient of two, you're having like, okay, 30 patients in a day. Let's just assume, that is assumption. You're having like 30 patients in a day, and you have to treat like 30 patients in a day, and you have 30 times 7, and you have 30 times, okay, that's 7 weeks. You need someone to analyze the record of your patients and then the details of what has been diagnosed in that person. Also, okay, yeah, somebody saying that that means we can use data analysis to forecast. Yes. Now, we're in geology. I have a friend of mine, she's into GIS. Like few back, she was talking about some things about, I think, map and all like that, that I should help her with data. Now, when it comes to analysis, we can use analysis to actually determine a forecast of the weather and also hazard. For example, now when analysis, okay, fine, there is an eruption in a location, and then you need to check, okay, the eruption has been occurring for the past 3 months, and then it has been going, okay, oh, everybody in this location, based on the eruption, we can say that in the next 2 weeks, this place will actually be on fire. So everybody will need to evacuate it. All these things are going to be done using analysis. Now in finance also, we can use analysis to actually text for your fraud detection, getting to profit. And in banking, in finance, get to know your profit and loss, ability to know your customer, to know if you're actually running on loss or you are not in profit. Okay, fine. I have a lot of people actually asking me different, but don't worry. When we go in this journey, we should actually get more understanding of the sector. Okay, now, yes. Okay, fine. Okay, I've answered all these questions. Now, let me quickly rush off with what I have. Then we go with this. Now sectors like I've talked about finance, healthcare. I've talked about, now we can actually work in a retail or e-commerce, understanding customer behavior. Also, we can actually work in real estate. So far, they are doing their marketing and their advertising. You can work in any sector, technology, even in education, because in education you can basically use analysis to track student performances, like getting their scores, their test score for like for like a term, 3 months. Then you get to analyze, okay, fine, in the class, who is the best student, who is the second best student, okay, who are, out of the students, which of the students are improving. So basically you can use that one to actually say that. Also in logistics we use that. Also, I know guys, we actually like this one. You use analysis in sport too, for player performance analysis, from games, for game strategy to be used, that in government too, in census, in government policy we use it. Now the truth be told, note this, so far data is involved, there is no sector you can work. If they are using data, you can actually work with them. What they need is that after getting the data, they need someone like you or me to analyze it for them. They don't have, if you see those data sets when we start, you see that it will look like numbers, some will look like letters, some will look so dirty. They don't have the time to actually do that. They just want to get results. Oh yeah, tell us what you have gotten from the data set. Now you imagine imagine you going to ShopRite and you see like we have like 500 people in ShopRite, and then you feel like, okay, how are they going to get the details of everybody, like okay, the amount of sales, how to restock and all. Imagine if you close your eyes like this and ask yourself, how are they going to get that? They need someone to actually work, and that is where you matter, where you matter. Now quickly let me go into this one before we go into questions and answering like that. Now the career growth. Now the truth be told, as a data analyst, you can actually come in as an intern. You can actually come in as an intern. Then you can work as a freelancer. I know people like that they get gigs. They work like a freelancer, and then when they work as a freelancer, they get paid in dollars and in naira. Now, and also we have um, business intelligence analyst, a data engineer, a data scientist, and an analytics manager. So far you can actually handle those skills I mentioned: Excel, SQL, Power BI, and all like that. You will grow from one sector, from junior data analyst to other parts. Now let's talk about money. I'm 100% sure. Okay. Okay. Can we all your questions? I'm going to answer them during the question answer. Let me run with what I have now for student performances. I'll tell you how I'm going to do that also, and that is why you should not miss any of the classes. Now let me quickly talk about money because I think guys actually love money. Now when it comes to money, the truth be told, and I'm going to use this one to answer somebody's question. As a data analyst, you can work remotely. That is how beautiful it is. Meaning that you can work for two or more for more complaints. So far, you can manage your time. That is the truth. So far, you can manage your time. Now, most of the time, okay, let me start from our own local place like that. Now, you can work remotely. Basically, you can work in companies where you don't work remotely. When you don't work remotely, you can go to office 9 to 5, and then they'll pay you the amount depending on the level of understanding of your skill. So at least in an entry level intern, 100, 150, 250, 700, as you can move. If you can grow to 700,000, 800,000, depending on how you sell yourself. And that is part one. I'm going to be talking about that one when we actually have to understand things about our portfolio too. So I'm going to tell you that one now. Now, apart from all this one, apart from all this one, you can actually work remotely, like with two companies, more than two companies, like that. How you can manage your time, and also you can get gigs. What you do is that okay, they are confused. They just made their annual report. They will need to do an analysis on it. So you get the gig, you fix the that is fixable, then you clean up the data, and then you do your dashboard and all. You give them a wonderful report that you're going to be learning in this class. After giving them the wonderful report, they make, oh wow, thank you for this one. They pay you per gig, per the per that section. So when they want to do the next analysis again, they call you for that. So, and when it comes to academics too, like that, academics is like, okay, first 3 months, when they are done with their 3 months stuff, they do the exams. So after they are done with the exams, first term, they'll tell you, okay, to help you analyze, okay, for this first student, best student, and no, we are going to be using Excel like that to do all these things. Now, when they are done the second term too, they will do that. They will call you, they will pay you. The third time they will do analysis, they will call you. Now they will now do the three, first time, second time, third time, they will do it together. Sometimes, okay, let me give you an example now. If people that are working with the government officials like sensors. Now, when they want to do sensors like that, sensors is not every time. They can call you like that to analyze part time. Then you get paid. So it's a continuous thing. So sometimes I remember one of my friend like that. That one of my friend was talking to me about the project from WHO too. So anytime there is data involved, they will call you for help. Even Netflix. How many of you have actually okay? How many of us have actually thought about it that how did they do it that okay when you're on Instagram, let's use Instagram now. Virtually everybody's on Instagram. Now let's say like okay, how many of you have thought of it that okay fine when I check my reels, suggested reels on my own Instagram is different from the one from your friend. It's always different. How did they do it? Let me explain. What they did was they check through literally data is being derived the more you click on Instagram. When you click on it, that data is being derived. When you click on anything, data is being derived. So when the data is derived, you just check, okay, fine. With analysis, you feel like, okay, if this guy is clicking on cake, cake, cake business, they will suggest things that are related to cake to you. But how would they suggest? Before they suggest those things, analysis have been done. Then the funny thing about it, we have something called data automation. Automation. We can automate some things. Don't worry, when we go into this journey, you will understand better. Now, okay, let me tell you a true life story. Before we go in. Now, the true life story is that the truth be told, after learning my data analysis, the first project I did, it was very tedious because I had to do a real life problem. So the project I did, after doing the real life project, I showed some of my friends, and they were like, "I don't know, you're the one that did this analysis. Wow, this is beautiful. I have an update for you where they actually need a data analyst for this gig, and it's a remote job. Now, if not because I actually built my own skills and actually build self-confidence in building a portfolio and all like that, I would have not gotten that gig. And from there, the person has been given, because nobody is going to give people they don't trust. If you are not good at it, that is why we are here. We are going to be changing from human being to human person. That is why I'm going to the next thing, building your portfolio, before I go into other things that we ask questions. Now, building your portfolio. Building your portfolio. Now, in this class, we'll be learning how to actually build our portfolio so that we can actually thrive in the world. So it's not only about learning the skills alone. It's not only about learning the soft skills alone. We are going to be building portfolios. I remember when I was building my portfolio, it was like, God help me, God help me, because I had to build a portfolio on GitHub and on LinkedIn. Then when I did that, it actually led me to a lot of great minds. I remember solving for somebody. We don't talk, we only talk on LinkedIn. Basically on LinkedIn, she was trying to fix the data of the project, like that, to reach out and things like that. Now, so we are going to be in this class. We are going to learn how to build a portfolio. Portfolio. If you don't know what portfolio is like a showroom, so that recruiters, so that people that actually need you can see what you can offer using your skills like Excel, SQL, Python, and all that. Please, I'll be answering all questions in the next few minutes. So that we can have questions. And I know we have a lot of questions. So okay, now before I conclude, what you need for this course, number one, you have to be open-minded. The truth is, you are learning a new skill, meaning you are going to be facing a lot of challenges, like, okay, fine, can I do this? This thing might look like. The truth be told, when you start something new, why is it new? Why is it called new? Is because you are changing your mindset. So it will look as if it is not possible, but it is 100% possible. The normal thing that I want you to bring your heart, the heart to learn, the willingness and the open-mindedness to learn. And the next thing is, you have to be patient. The truth, you have to be patient. It is not, don't be too, if you are rushing, you might not actually get what you need, your details. You get the detailed thing you need to get in this class. So you need to be patient. Now, other things you actually need, your gadgets too. That's the truth. You need your gadget, like getting a notebook and a notepad. When we start class, you need to get a notebook and a notepad, because you're going to be writing. Your mind is going to be so wide. Some of you are going to, your mind is going to be so wide that you believe that you can solve any problem. You can solve any problem. After this class, I'm 100%. Some of you feel like there's no problem I cannot solve, apart from data analysis too. Also, you are going to be needing your laptop. You are not going. Sometimes you will need. You are not. Sometimes you are going to need internet connections also. Then your LinkedIn account. When we come to class, we have that. You actually get to know things like that. Okay, let me wrap up like this. Then I will need to answer our questions. You can write your questions so that I can actually answer them. Then other ones probably when we start the class. Now, note this: you don't need mathematical skills to do data analysis, although it will look like you need math. No, you don't need it. You have to note that. What we just need is your mind, because we are going to be transforming numbers into meaningful information. We are going to be unlocking potentials when it comes to data. I'm happy to tell you that you're about to gain a skill that can truly transform your future. And I want you to take your time and invest your time. And note this: trust me, You are going to be transiting into two things: good knowledge that brings good money, and also fulfillment. So I don't know if you can actually have, if you have questions. Wow, wow, I have a lot of questions here. I have a lot of questions here. Okay, okay, let me just let me okay, okay, fine. Let me just, I'll answer them. I will check them and answer. Now, okay, let me okay, let me ask. Okay, fine, Mr. Sheikh. You're saying, okay, what about statistics, sir? Now, the truth be told, the truth be told, when it comes to statistics, basically in that analysis, you'll be learning part of statistics in it. But that does not mean that if you don't know statistics, you can't work. There's the part where you're going to be learning in Excel, main, medium, mode, your average, descriptive analysis, statistical analysis. We're going to be doing statistical analysis. That is why I said sector, like that's why I said that data analysis can work anyway. I the project like that was asking me about data and how to, like, they actually want to get they want to work on descriptive analysis, statistical analysis, getting of your hypothesis testing and all that. We are going to be treating part of it. So this doesn't mean that if you don't understand mathematics, you cannot do it. That is what I'm saying. So if you understand mathematics, fine, it will give you a plus. But that does not mean that it is, you have to be mathematical. So far, you have a mind to open up to learn new things. Even in statistics, you learn them. Nobody brings statistics from heaven. You learn it. So far, you can learn. You actually get that. Now, if somebody is asking that, what is the minimum amount a new remote data analyst will learn? The minimum amount a new remote data analyst will learn. I want to be sure, is it in terms of money or in terms of the number of months? Now, let me explain that. Okay, fine. If it's number of months, normally you should learn for 4 months, 3 months. Now, let me explain why it's like that. The truth be told, if you are learning and you say you want to learn for 3 weeks and you want to know it, you cannot. It's not a course. Don't let anybody bobo you. Don't let anybody tell you, yeah, you learn in 3 weeks. It's a lie. That's why we are making this. Now that's why we are making, let me hold on. That's why we are making this thing so simple. You are going to be running it for 4 months. And the truth be told, the 4 months we are running it, we are going to be starting with beginners class, 100%. Now, the reason why we are going to teach you for this number of months is because in here, your mind.
Hey Faye, can you hear me? Come back up. Yeah, I think it's network. Something probably went wrong. Long day, full of network ups and downs. Let's just hold on for some minutes. All right, so while we wait for him to rejoin, basically the essence of having this meet your instructor session is so that you can have an idea what is in store for you for the next couple of weeks and months. and so that you can see that, of course, there's been delays in kickstarting, but we are trying to ensure that we get the best available knowledge and skills for every single student, every single participant. So it's important that, of course, you anticipate what's coming and you get yourself prepared. So, like Mr. Faye was saying, it's not going to be a completely smooth ride or easy ride because you're doing something for the first time. So, your commitment is very important. No matter how ready we are to teach, no matter how ready we are to provide you with the knowledge that, of course, this program was designed to do, we cannot come and put the knowledge in, of course, in your minds, in your brains. You have to be present. Like, for example, in today's session, the turnout is not so encouraging. Well, maybe the timing, maybe network, maybe whatever. But we really need, even if it's 10 people who get the best from this program, would be fulfilled knowing that we were able to get 10 people to upskill, 10 people to learn really valuable skills, to learn skills that, like the instructors have said, you grow old with. Nobody will take these skills away from you. So your, of course, your commitment is important. Your patience sometimes, especially in times like this where network is a problem, when network can be a challenge, right? We are all Nigerians. We know that how these things can work, despite doing our best to ensure that they don't happen. So Mr. Faye is back. I would turn off my mic now so we can continue. Welcome back.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry for the. Can we all hear? Okay.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, fine. Okay. Okay. Sorry for the break in transmission. Don't we should understand the situation of Nigeria. Now, quickly, let me quickly answer a few questions so that we can go. Please, can you retype some of our questions? Okay. I think the minimum amount that analysts can earn. Now, the minimum amount you guys can earn cannot uh, because you and then a good portfolio. He did not present himself as a very a newbie. So it his work can actually prove the excellence. So basically, the charge was okay, fine. Okay, how much do you think we can give you for this job? So he was saying, okay, can you pay me $10 per hour? So imagine somebody collecting $10 per hour and working 5 hours in a day, then times it times four, 5 times, then times it times 4 weeks in a month. So now, so it depends on you how you can actually sell yourself as a portfolio. That's what I'm saying. This class we're going to be learning all those things so that to you, and then when they reach out to you, your portfolio speaks excellence. So that can the lowest thing they can actually give you depends on you, depends on the company. I know the company like that now, like for example, carries close to 700 to 900,000 in Nigeria. So if you are coming in, the worst they can give you is probably they give you 250. Banking can health sector can give probably 150, 250. Like, but that doesn't stop you gigs that you can actually work on a project within 3 hours and then collect 250,000, and then work on a project within 24 hours. And a friend of mine just reached out to me, that was last week. He said they will actually want to run analysis on they want to run analysis on students. Basically, they want to how to automate and things like that. So now what they do is that, okay, fine, they have to get the data sets. After getting data, they clean it up and then they solve the problem. After solving the problem, they are fine. That doesn't disturb your remote job. It doesn't disturb your gig. It doesn't disturb your. So it is dependent on you, the company also. So at least you can't go as an analyst. If you go to any company and they want to employ you, they can't put you under low payroll. Why? Because they know the job you are going to be offering. Then okay. Somebody said I was thinking it will involve so much mathematics. I said the other time. I said the other time. Fine. It looks as if it is mathematics. It looks as if it's mathematics, but that doesn't mean that it is mathematics oriented. Now let me now shock you with this. When we start doing our query SQL, I'm 100% sure that some of you'll be smiling when we start doing SQL. You know, from where, if all those things are English language, they are not mathematics. They are English language. That knows how to write English. Okay, where, okay, select customer from mathematics is about how you can actually. So asking that, can we download all the software to be used for this class? Yes. And also, if you have issues like when you want to download, you can reach out. When we start our class, we get to communicate. So if you have issues, you can reach out. For example, now for now, Excel might not give you. You might have to pay for like 65 for you to actually use Excel. There's Excel Online, there's Excel 2013, 2007, and then there is this spreadsheet WPS that you can actually use. You understand? So all those ones are dependent on how you can actually, like the Anaconda. Now you have the Anaconda, then how to download some things, then your SQL, my SQL too. So before we download, if you download your own, yes. But before the classes too, we are going to talk about some of them, or probably on our group, how we can reach out to us so that you can actually get the proper download of the version we need. Okay, fine. Number one now, understand this. Just like when you go to school and you study medicine, at a point when you grow, you actually, okay, fine, you are going to be probably a surgeon. You get, I want to pick the mouth. I want to some are, is it people that treat the heart. You get, now this is data analysis is like the basics of all of them. So far you have data, you can fix it because you're going to be working. That financial analysis involve when you can analyze based on profit and loss, and then when you know your KPIs, your key performance, profit, loss, revenue. And that was like wasn't it 2 months ago? He said there's a financial analysis we have to do. So we have to get a data set of, now listen to this. So this is very funny. A data set of 10 10 companies in Nigeria, and then their financial details for 10 years. Now, and we have to do the analysis to using it like it's a financial analysis. Now, this is, I'm not into, I did not study accounting in school, although a part of me studied accounting in agricultural engineering because I studied agricultural engineering basically. Now, when we did the analysis, basically just like you are doing profit and loss, remove your revenue, remove your retention, remove all this, you subtract and minus. But the truth be told, we are going to be studying, we are going to learn that when we start the class. The ability to, I told us that we will be looking at solving problem, finding solutions to question that is being asked. So far data is involved, you are going to be solving the problem. So now you grow, you can now say, okay, fine, financial, I'm going into financial analyst. I want to be a financial analyst. Why? It's just finance. Part of the sector of that analysis is finance. So your own sector will be, okay, money, 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 money. Now, let me give you an instance. Now, if somebody is going to real estate and you are actually doing analysis on marketing, be a market analyst like that. Now, if you go into, okay, fine, you are going to health, you be a clinic analyst. A clinical, like I said, we have clinical analysis. You understand? So all those sectors, they will just give you, okay, research. I'm going to be out of research analysts too. People that, okay, academicians like that, work with projects, get the hypothesis for the test, okay, check for the topics and all that, I get data. So far data is involved. So what you just do is they just streamline the aspect of the analysis for you. One of my senior brother was asking me I think that was last month. He was saying we should talk about financial analyst. He's certified ICANN. He has ICANN. So he was telling me that, do you know, come, let us talk about financial. How will I be? I understand in financial analysis that the major thing you need to know is your KPI, your key performance indicator. Simple. So if you know all those ones, you can actually say, okay, I want to go into financial analysis. And I know somebody working in NBC like that, talking about Power BI. So that's that on that. Let me check another question so that I'm not taking more time. How long will it take now? How long will you take to be a proficient? Okay, how long will it take to be proficient in data analysis? Now, that one is dependent on two things: your heart, and the more you practice and solve problem. Now, sometimes you might not have your first gig in the first few months, 3 weeks, but what you do is that you deal with real world problems. You solve real world problems. For example, now we are going to be there's something called data sets, and when we go into our classes, we the data sets, we understand where we can get data sets. There's a place called Cargo. It's not only Cargo we can get data sets. There's data sets. Then we have there's a place for financial analysis. I remember when I wanted to do analysis, we use stock analysis. It's online basically like that. So it is how you can use those skills. The more you practice them, just as if you are pressing your phone, you will be more closer, you'll be more good at pressing your phone when you press it more, not dropping the phone. I don't understand it and you drop it. You won't be better like that. But the more you press your phone, the more you get hint, hint and how to work with your phone. Okay, now let me see what's the okay. I said it at the beginning of the class, the difference between data science and data analyst. Data analyst basically are the one that work with data to interpret, tell for forecast, and get meaningful information. Now, data scientists are people that do machine learning. They do machine learning, they use modeling, algorithms, they'll be writing codes, a lot of codes like that to solve things. They use modeling. I think I said it at the beginning of the class. Okay, what other thing? Can we have a recorded version of this class? Okay. Okay, somebody was asking, how do we use how okay, sorry, the network. Now, how do you use student to track record? Now, this one is to me, let me say it is very simple, probably because I can see. Now it's very simple. Don't worry, when you come to class, you will know how to use this one to track record. It's just like you inputting your record on this class now. Your record too. And I'm going to analyze everybody's record. So that's why you must not miss class and you must do your task. We are going to be doing I'll be giving us tasks, I'll be giving live examples. real life data set we are going to be working with, like that health sector too. I know of somebody like that actually did analysis his health, the number of time he's sleeping, okay, reading and all that like that. To monitor his own time. So I can know, okay, fine. If I actually spend a lot of hours on this, I can get this. I'm gonna be doing real life project to actually solve problem. Okay. Other question that I okay. If there's no, I don't know if we still have other question. Okay, questions will be answered as we join into the world of data together. It is going to be very interesting. Okay. Somebody's asking. I saw a question now. Somebody's saying, how can we use data analysis of criminology? Criminology. Have you forgotten that virtually every crime that is being, if you are going to check your file, they will check your file, and the word is going now. They will check that it's called your criminal record basically. Now these are going, and the funny thing, people don't have time to write again, document everything online. They want to write it. They want to put it online so that it will be there. When we start the journey, you the class doing task, solving problem, you will actually understand. We actually understand more. I can't explain everything at once like this, but note this. Let us wait for the class and then open. We have a lot of questions. We are going to be practicing a lot of things. We're doing a lot of tasks. So that, because the more you solve, note, the more you solve problem, the more you get better. If you are scared of problem, be scared safe. Even if you are scared, you change it, you make you not to be scared. So when me, I'm always happy when there's a problem and then you solve the problem. So get ready that we are going to be using data to session. So I think on Princess, can you hear?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I don't know if we still have other questions.
Okay,
No
so the
question, probably.
the only thing I would say is I don't think you really talked about earning potential. I don't
Okay,
know if you
okay,
mentioned that, especially for maybe remote jobs or remote gigs, so that people just have an
okay,
idea
okay, okay, fine.
what they can earn.
Okay, is that all? So that I can just summarize
Yes,
all the questions.
yes, that's all.
Okay, now we have a lot of potential when it comes to data. Like number one, I said that we can
No problem. Yes.
find. You get gigs, you get job. They pay you depend in naira too. That's one. Now you can 9 to 5 if you're interested in 9 to 5. You in any sector. So far they're using data, banking, finance, the government sector, and all like that. Any part, and then you can actually grow. That's what I was saying. Actually want to stay like that, so you can actually grow in that. So there are a lot of potential in sector, and also the truth be told, the last part is education. If you can actually, this one is very funny. You can actually be a tutor. I know tutor care. How would I be tutor? No, you can actually be a tutor because if you be that's part of education. You can be a tutor. The truth be told, you can ask Google. If you change location, you don't really have issues with getting job unless if you don't want to work physical or remote. You don't have issues. You know that some job like location, it will look as if when you move out to another country. So far they are using about she's working, she's selling all this perfume and all that. She wants to analyze, she wants to take a note of her profit and all. She wants to make analysis on how she can actually know the products that consumers actually are ordering more than other people. So I think that is that on that. Any other question? So that
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Faye. It's actually Faye, not
thank you
Shay.
too.
I see somebody say Shay in
Okay.
the comment section. Not my Nigerian network. It's actually Faye. Thank you so much for your
Yeah,
time. It was a
thank
really
you.
insightful session. Even though network tried
Thank you.
to stress all of us.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so yeah, we look forward to, on behalf of all of the data analysis students, we look forward to the class, the 16-week session. And I sincerely
yeah,
hope that some people don't drop out along the way because now everybody's seeming very interested and passionate and eager.
yeah.
But then let's hope they don't run out of fuel
Don't
and
run out.
steam somewhere along the line.
Yeah, don't be scared. So far, I can do it. Everybody can do it actually.
All right, so you have, luckily for you guys, data analysis students, you have an instructor that believes in you already. So, so if you drop out, it's going to be on you, not on your instructor because he already believes in you. So thank you so much. I think we'll be rounding up here for tonight. We'll be calling it a night because if anybody's not tired, me personally, I'm exhausted. It's been 3 hours plus of being here and it's valuable, right? Really valuable, really nice engaging with all of you. Thanks for the compliment. I think it was Gracious Soul that said I was looking beautiful. Thanks for noticing that and complimenting. And then yeah, thanks for everyone who has stayed up until this point. It's been 3 hours plus, and then you guys have been here through the network up and downs. And yeah, we really look forward to the classes. We look forward to the assessments. We look forward to the assignments, to all of you building your portfolios because, of course, everybody wants to start, but after starting, I really hope we don't get discouraged and drop out somewhere along the line. So what I'll just say to wrap up tonight is if you need to go through this again, no problem. Feel free to do that. I'll try to drop the links on the group. But beyond that, the truth is there is a lot of money to be made in the tech space. There is a lot of money. It's life changing. Tech skills are life changing, and truly, you can't even really compare what you can earn with what the next person can earn. It's more like is a part to self discovery, is a part to self actualization. Really. So how much work you put in, how well your portfolio is, how well you can showcase your results or showcase the value that you bring to an organization will determine how much they can pay you. From the beginning, you can actually start earning way more than even 200,000 naira. That's the honest truth. You can pitch to clients, work from home, set up your home office. There are a lot of people with problems, and of course, money is made from solving problems, right? So, what we are trying to do is equip you with the basic skills, the fundamental skills that you need. But then how far you go depends on you, the extra mile they are willing to put in, the extra work you're willing to put in. And we wish everyone the best, honestly. We wish you the best. We wish you a very fulfilling training and a very fulfilling training and of course a lot of results after the training. So yeah, we'll call it a night. More information will be posted on the WhatsApp group. So yeah, you get to hear from us from tomorrow on the WhatsApp group. Do have a lovely night rest. And one more thing, for everyone who was here today and enjoyed this session, got value from this session, I want you to do us a favor on the WhatsApp group. I want you to post something, just something to say, um, something to actually just give a feedback. Yeah, so these messages that you'll be dropping, if you have screenshots of your comments, you can actually take it as well. And then just drop something in the WhatsApp group to say, okay, The session was packed, it was valuable, it was great. Yes, so all of the feedback, those who really enjoyed it, those who really gained from being here, who were happy that they were here, just let everybody know in the WhatsApp group so that by the time there's a next live session, people will be more encouraged to join. And then also, in the course of these 16 weeks, beyond just your trainings, as your data analysis, your digital marketing trainings, you would also be getting some other, I'll be bringing in, or we'll be bringing in some other people to interact with you in sessions like this. So we'll bring in a Web3 and cryptocurrency specialist, freelance specialist who come and teach you, of course, how to get freelancing opportunities, how to prepare your portfolio for that, how to get remote gigs, and then, of course, how to get into the Web3 space, because that's a space that I feel like a lot of um, tech entrepreneurs or tech freelancers are not even looking into, that is also very lucrative, right? So we're bringing in those guys from time to time to also bring value to you. So the point is, as long as you are here, you're definitely going to get something really valuable from the program. So yes, we'll call it a night at this point. See you guys in class or in our next session. And yeah, goodbye, good night.